yes. I've gotten quite good at it too. Can't build a tent or start a fire, so I let the bandits do it. I kill them while they sleep, and then I take their bones. Hips are my favorite. Shaped like a butterfly, except they aren't made of butter, but bone. Oh no, you can't put a price on bones. That's just wrong. About 3 years ago, lost everything to bandits. Should have listened to that traveling carpenter. He was replacing the logs around the village. I almost said yes, until he started trying to sell me on replacing the floorboards. What's an imperial
that's
no
funny.
about fine North craftsmanship? So I told him to peddle his snake oil somewhere else. A month later, bandits raided my home. Came right through the front door.
What happened next?
They robbed me, beat me, left me for dead. I could reach into my stomach and touch my insides. It was
Oh,
real soft, not like bone. I slumped to the ground, laying my back on the wood. It was rough to the touch. My hand caught a splinter. I thought,
ow.
even in my final moments, the gods still saw fit to mock me. But when I turned to look at my hand, I saw something rocking gently under the bed. It was an elf potion. No, potions saved my life but didn't make life safe. With no home, I had to sleep in caves. Those places are cold and scary. But one
And
day
filled with
I found a
trolls.
cave that was warm, had clean beds, stocks of food. I couldn't believe my luck. Too tired to think it was the bad
Yeah,
kind. I slept better
they're
than I
filled
had
with
in years. Would
trolls,
have slept right
skeletons, and
through my own
Draugr.
death when the bandits came home. That is, if not for the rattle by the entrance. Clack, 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 clack. Heard it loud and clear. Bones. Sweet, wonderful bones. I picked up my axe and ambushed the bandits in their own home. But in the end, it was the bones that saved me. I hoped you would ask me about my bones. I have all kinds, orc spines, elf legs, and little chicken bones you can wear around your neck. The hands are made from a khajiit, I think. A lot of sand in the joints. The fingers are fun to look at, so many little bones. I also have a nice set of hip bones with me too, but it's not part of the collection, because they're confusing. By Hizmir's beard, I can't tell whether they belong to a man or a woman. It's very important I know what type of bone I'm handling. I'm not sure.
Okay.
You don't seem to know much about the subject. Maybe I ought to get a second opinion before I toss away a good set of bones.
Okay.
All right then.
I'm gonna have to kill you for it then. Oh, you have boots. You have boots on you, don't you? Yes, you do. I need boots. I'm running around barefoot. Thank you, Fjord. You actually had a contribution.
Don't be afraid to put on a brave face. Marvelous, and with minimal damage, I see, although these stains are rather curious. In any case, you have my thanks. The item was incredibly dear to me, as are you for returning it.
Thank
As
you.
such, you have certainly earned your reward. I must say it is most handsome, but it was not always so. This orc skull has been carved to resemble a human. It is by far one of my proudest achievements as a sculptor. I filed off the tusks and contracted the jaw using techniques practiced by the ancient Yokudans for binding feet. It was a passing fancy of mine to sculpt orcs into humans before I found my true calling as a sculptor of the undead. When my name is known throughout Tamriel, this skull may be considered a priceless historical artifact, a symbol of a road almost taken. Yes, it will make a fine conversation piece for your guests. They will ask you why you have a human skull on display. Imagine their surprise when you inform them it was born an orc. Yes? A bed of sand may be as soft as a cloud, but individually each grain is extremely coarse. The ancient stonecutters would lay out a line of sand over a block of granite, then run a saw over that line. It is not the same type of saw we use to cut wood. The saw has no edge. It is there simply to apply pressure. The sand serves as its teeth. The sand scalpels of the hollow-faced men are made by binding grains of sand to a small, edgeless knife. The end product is a blade that can shape and cut bone as easily as a man shaves his beard. You have a beautiful face, and if I were still an apprentice, one that I would have very much liked to sculpt. Alas, now that I have evolved as a sculptor, my spells and my scalpel are only for the dead. Because they never die. Because they operate in the shadows. Because they have every desire to remain unseen. Mostly, however, because they are a challenge. After all, it is no secret that face sculpting has become rather commonplace in the Fourth Era. Working on the undead serves two purposes. It distinguishes me from my peers and broadens my client base.
Okay.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
I wish only to graduate and enroll with the Legion. My drums will lead our troops to victory.
This college has proved to be rather... Some say I'm too generous, but my fortune is large. Certainly. Which deal would you like to hear
better
about?
Than Dean Pantea actually knows. She just gets intimidated when she's in class and can't sing.
I think
As you
someone has
wish.
a crush on Ildi.
Certainly. It seems you're a person of high caliber after all if you seek to hear my voice, knowing it will sour all other notes. What song shall I play?
You there. Heed my request. It'll only take a moment of your time. For what I ask plain. If you're a bard, for your own sake, do not sing, for your voice cannot compare to mine.
You sound like a noble, but you stink like a gutter rat.
Undoubtedly, these snot-bearing rags have collected their fair share of slime, but I've received no complaints from the company I've sought.
If one more person asks me for a drink.
You're wrong. I wasn't always a handsome bard. I used to be a handsome adventurer, and before that I was just handsome. Unfortunately, my adventuring days came to an end after I nearly lost my life in a scuffle with a group of bandits known as the Silver Hand. After that, I figured it wasn't worth it. Sure, I was a damn good fighter. The best. But I was damn near good at everything else, too.
Did we
I
just
owed it
find
to
the
this
guy
world to keep me
Edwin was
alive.
talking about?
I can't even begin to imagine what sort of Daedric nightmare Skyrim would be if I didn't exist. It happened in an inn, not unlike this one, where I met this lovely tavern wench, a bit chubby, but on the voluptuous side of fat. I could have charmed and cajoled her, but I've always been the type to show rather than tell. So I showed her just exactly how her previous lovers had failed her.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, my fevered thrusts were such that she accused me of turning into a beast during the height of my passion. Literally. To be specific, she said I was a werewolf. When rumors spread around of my transformation, I became a target of the Silver Hand. That wench made the coffin maker a lot of money that day, with all the men I was now forced to kill. I'm beginning to think the two were kin.
Really?
Your words can mock me, but your cowardly face serves as its own retort. Of course, you can try to change it, but it will do no good. You can narrow your eyes and bare your teeth, but you forget I am a bard, and I can hear the subtle trill in your voice. It tells me you are afraid, but considering how magnificent I am, you have every reason to be.
Talk about
You remind me of that poor Breton imp. He's an old acquaintance of mine. Joined up with wolf hunters just so he could have a chance to
Yep,
kill
this
me.
is the guy. It has to be.
As if I could be killed. In fact, the little carrot licker's been trying to kill me for more than a dozen years now. Back when my balls had more fur than his chin. We fought with swords, bare knuckles, knives, bows, and scrolls. We fought in the snow, in caves, in taverns, and on horseback. We fought alone, with companions, on opposite sides of the war. The one
Wow.
place he doesn't like to fight
Move.
is out in the sun. I think it's because he's a bloody vampire. Now that I'm a bard,
What?
he'll likely become a
Dude.
writer so he can document his lies in books while I immortalize the truth in song.
Yeah, this Breton's name. Is it by chance Edwin?
How should I know? He told it to me once. Shouted it at me, really. But I couldn't be bothered to remember such an insignificant detail. You'll likely find him wherever it is filthy skeevers like to congregate. And my name will most assuredly be the first word out of his mouth. Oh, was he short, ugly, and green with envy? Of course he is. I knew the day I became a bard that the little imp would follow. Figures he would opt for the college route. Just ignore the fool and pretend we never had this conversation. You'll have to ask him. I haven't the faintest idea. Probably fell in love with me or something, seeing as I have that effect on women and men. All I know is, wherever I go, he manages to show up. I remember bits and pieces, a few stories here and there, but I can hardly keep a ledger. If you want the details, you will have to ask him. I can't be expected to recall events that are so unworthy of my memories. Yes, perhaps I do recall some of it. It was in Riften, I think, at the turn of the century, on the eve of the New Life Festival. We were all in a drunken revelry when these two elves got into an argument because one of them refused to dance with the other's sister. Then the one elf says to the other, "If your sister looks anything like you, I'd rather bet an orc."
Ha!
Then an orc woman rises from her chair and yells some sort of curse before smashing a flagon across his nose. Pretty soon the whole place is an all-out brawl. That's when I felt a tap on the shoulder. My instincts were to turn and duck. Too bad the Breton was aiming for my neck. The little imp ended up shaving my scalp. "How much did you pay those elves to start this?" I asked him. He said he didn't have to pay them anything. When he told them the plan was to kill me, he said they offered to do it for free. An obvious lie, of course. Indeed. Again, you're better off asking him. If we both stay at this inn long enough, you might be unlucky enough to meet him.
You should probably be in bed. You're looking a bit under the weather.
I have to talk to someone first, and then I'm gonna do that.
This city is disgusting. There is only one estate for Khazit, and the Imperials no taste.
Well, you done in the basement. You didn't tell me you were going down
Lady
there.
Atia says my voice is second only to hers, but she's selling me short.
Youngest bard at the Bard's College, at your service.
Don't care. Where are you, Edwin? Is he down there?
Anything I can do for you, I will.
Few can resist my charms. Even fewer are worthy of them.
Okay, Sybil. That's Sybil Stenter's voice actor.
Mazar's finest work yet, revealed at last. Are they blind? It is right next to her, of course. Ah, she knew they would understand. Why else would Khazit have endured the smell? Feast their eyes upon it. Drink in the contours of the object, the way that light plays upon it. Khazit's art carries a message to all who look upon it. Comfort in these trying times. Inexplicable texture to lose oneself in. Oh, and this is but one of the fine undertakings she has back at her estate. Mazar has proven herself to be yet again the greatest artist on Tamriel. The traveler can do no less but to pay her tribute for looking upon such finery. As they very well should. Be sure to tell your friends, of course, if you have any. Mazar will be here for some time yet, but the chance to look upon her work will not be for much longer. It has been your pleasure, traveler. Now leave the great gold breast to her rest.
Okay. Where are you, Edwin? I need to talk to you. No, not him. Huh. Tell me he's hiding upstairs.
Good to see you.
Hmm? Oh, hey.
Yes?
Hi.
As I have no heir, I plan on donating everything I own to the college. The people in Solitude need to learn the value of charity. Easy. The smell he emits is unlike... I dare say he must be a werewolf of some kind, the way he drags his hairy knuckles on the... A lucky guess, no doubt. Evidently, the brute didn't make the same assessment of you. Clearly, he's throwing spit to the wind and hoping it hits something other than his face.
Okay.
It's a shame that there are only a few of us in all of Nirn capable of appreciating my work. Such is the tragedy of genius.
I know, right? Hold on.
I may be a gentleman, but I can't let the Nord's crimes go unpunished. Easy. The smell I dare say he must be a werewolf of some kind. If you were, I wouldn't hold it against you. Not until you bit someone's ear off and filled the halls with your fleas. I don't care if the Nord is a werewolf or a cliff racer. He's besmirched my honor and I'll seek retribution until it's restored.
Okay.
Some say I'm too generous, but my fortune is large. I would give more, but that would result in less efficient spending.